It's taken me a little while to do one of these audio diaries because I've been so stressed out. And like I've lost it maybe like 5 times in the last 3 or 4 days. But we finally moved officially yesterday into our new house, which is not finished, which I am trying to just meet with gratitude, but also the nesting part of me is like having a freak out. So there's many mixed emotions happening. Haven't been sleeping a lot, which is never great. And my sacrum stuff flares up with that. I'll be 37 weeks on Wednesday. It's currently Sunday. My husband's birthday is tomorrow. We are throwing a party for him in our new unfinished house, which we just moved into yesterday. So the whole thing is just, people might call us insane. I would probably call us insane. Oh my gosh, my calf is cramping. Oh my gosh, my calf is cramping. Oh my gosh, my calf is cramping. I'm a freaking mess. But I'll be fine. Oh my god, my calf. Okay, so like that. Clearly not taking the best care of myself in the last few days. And that's a huge difference from how I've been practicing my self-care. So that's also a very frustrating part of this process. But hopefully today and tomorrow I can start to get back on track.
Problem is we've been moving so much during this pregnancy and we haven't had a stable home environment. We're living in our old house and then we sold it and then moved into her parents' house and then moved into a rental and now moved back into our house. So it's been 4 different places in the past 10 months. So normally she's able to have a very specific routine and a rhythm, which I think the lack of a stable home environment has affected her more than the pregnancy. I think last time she was able to have a good rhythm of yoga and wellness. And this time it's been a lot more chaotic.
This is One Way or a Mother. I'm your host, pregnancy-focused chiropractor, Dr. Elliot Berlin. Previously, we heard a lot about the internal and external work Arianna did to prepare for her upcoming vaginal birth after cesarean, or VBAC. However, despite her best efforts to create space for a calm birth, the chaos of life persists. Will her hard work culminate in a successful VBAC? We'll hear what her obstetrician, Dr. Paul Crane, thinks when we come back. Stay with us. Arianna is at her 8-month check-in with obstetrician Dr. Paul Crane. With Dr. Crane's permission, she recorded it on her phone. During the visit, they put the finishing touches on her birth plan. Dr. Crane shares his insights, philosophy, and recommendations to maximize her chances for a successful VBAC. Let's listen in as they discuss the final weeks in her journey towards a better birth experience.
If I believe that tummy measurement, this baby's going to be a little smaller.
Okay.
But the head size is slightly on the big side.
Okay.
So we'll see. The other thing that would be wishful thinking is if you went into labor 10 days early.
That would be awesome.
Now here's what I say about that with the second kid.
Yeah.
Because you essentially went through a labor.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're lucky, your cervix, and I'm starting next time I see you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start doing internal exams.
Okay.
If your cervix starts to soften and thin, one thing that I usually am with VBAC people is I'm pretty proactive in trying to get things going.
Okay.
Because if you can have the baby a week or 2 early versus a week late, let's say, that's about a pound difference in size.
Okay. And how do you get things going? Do we do natural stuff at home?
You can do that too.
Okay.
Primrose oil. You could start doing that maybe about a week from now.
Okay.
Lots of walking.
Yeah, I do
Maybe
lots
sex.
of walking. Okay.
Sometimes helps.
Okay.
But really the most important thing is if the cervix starts to open up a little bit, we can do these membrane sweeps,
Okay.
which I am really a fan of.
And when would you start doing, like, when is it good to start
Well, I
doing?
wouldn't start that until about 2 to 2.5 weeks before the due date.
Okay. Cool.
And sometimes people like you all see you a couple times a week.
Okay.
I just had somebody who had that problem, and I think I saw her 3 times in 5 days, and I did get her into labor.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Oh, great.
Okay, well, you're doing great.
I have a couple more questions. Okay. If my water breaks, when would I go to the hospital after that happens?
First of all, it depends on how the baby feels before that.
Okay.
So it's not going to happen the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
If it does, call me and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
That's one reason I do pelvic exams.
Okay.
Because I want to allow people not to have to rush to the hospital.
Yeah.
So when the water breaks, if the fluid is clear, if there's not too much blood, it's normal to get a little blood, the baby's moving around afterwards, I don't make people go to the hospital right away.
Okay.
And how long would I let you stay home? I just told you I don't like inducing
Yeah.
with feedbacks.
Right.
So if the water breaks, I would maybe let you go even 24 hours without inducing.
Okay.
Then we have this balance between infection and getting things going, and so not to really get too stressed out by it, since we don't know what your circumstances are going to be.
Yeah.
The first thing is to pay attention to what I just said about the fluid being. So you know what meconium is?
Yes.
That's serious.
Yes.
If the water breaks and it's green or
Or
really
smells
bright
bad.
yellow,
Yeah.
then we want you to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Probably that won't be the case. So I'm going to start doing pelvics next time because, and also we do that one culture for beta strep.
Yeah.
The baby's still what we saw. I would say the head size is still looking to the side.
Okay.
So we want that head to rotate up with the back.
And does that usually happen during labor or does that happen before labor?
Well, I'm hopeful that it's before.
Okay.
It could be either one.
Okay.
And sometimes you can see it and rotate back and forth. One week it'll be back will be on one side, the next week it might be on the other side.
Okay. If I go past my due date, what happens?
Again, that's another situation
All right.
that we hope doesn't happen.
Yes, but if we were to do that,
Well, we'll let you do it.
All right.
It depends on what the cervix is like. If I
Okay.
know that the cervix is really ready to go, sometimes I'll induce. But I don't like inducing in general.
Great.
Same thing if you go overdue, same thing if the water breaks, it's sort of a similar thing.
Okay.
Because if you were home with a midwife,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be inducing it, but we then try to do things to minimize the chance for infection.
Okay. Awesome.
That's why it's important that beta strep is negative.
Yeah.
We'll test that next time I see you.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Dr. Crane. I met with Dr. Crane again, the OB, for a checkup, and he said the most important part of the feedback and a successful feedback is a positive attitude. So that is what I will have and cultivate. I mean, I've had that. It's just the extenuating circumstances have been a challenge in that. And that is my theme for the week 36 and this day. And it's all fine. My son loves his new house. My husband loves his new house. I love our new house. There's a lot of work to be done. I am so excited to nest, even if it doesn't look like how I pictured nesting to go.
We'll be right back.
Okay, so we're trying to set up a nursery in our not finished house in Zach and I's bedroom, and there are no curtains, and everything for babies has been packed up. So we're unpacking it, and yeah, we're doing our best. Me, my mom, and Wilder. Mommy's gonna go through your old PJs and see what the baby will wear for his PJs. Are these your old PJs? Do you remember these? Do you remember sleeping in these old PJs, Wilder? These are so comfy, huh?
Moving.
Yes, moving. There you go. You got it.
Good.
And you can just pop it open.
Mama.
Yeah?
Go, Mama.
Is this the tummy time thing? No. This is why. Okay, I'm doing it. That's enough.
I don't know which is which.
I know. I got it. It's enough. It's a pack and play. I got it. Okay. Sorry. Hi.
As Arianna's estimated due date approaches, the chaos at home is disrupting her efforts to find a sense of calm. Let's hear from Zach about how he and Arianna are navigating these final weeks and coping with the challenges they face.
I think she's getting frustrated. The first birth ended in a pretty dramatic C-section, which was very stressful. And she still looks back at that as being a very stressful experience. And the goal was to create a less stressful experience this time around, which in some ways may be happening, but I also think she's getting frustrated that she hasn't been able to have the sort of calm, meditative experience that she's been hoping for. I want her to feel calm and in the right environment and feel like she's able to meditate and get in the zone. I wish that's something I could do to make that happen, but it feels like the circumstances are what they are. I mean, we're like a week or two away, so hopefully we can get in the zone over the next, starting today, I don't know. The last few weeks we moved in and we've still had construction workers coming in the house and making a bunch of noise. Things aren't working properly, bathroom flooded. I think we've got most of it under control now, but then last night Wilder had 104 fever. Now today he's got 104 fever. So I think we just need to be able to accept that there's just stressful things happening around us, and we just need to somehow try to carve out like a happy place within that. We're very close, but yeah, when she's frustrated, I'm frustrated. So try to remain calm, try to be a balance as much as I can.
Arianna's goals for her labor and the reality of her surroundings seem increasingly at odds. While she's managed to handle many aspects of her environment, she continues to seek guidance for the elements beyond her control. Let's tune in to her most recent session with her Reiki healer and see how she's dealing with these challenges.
So I started with the normal root treatment that we've been doing, and then I opened the daimai as well, which is that belt vessel around the center, to help open up whatever's going on there. And then you had a lot of that liver stress, so I cleared some of that and then balanced it with a heart point. Just feeling the stress that you spoke of. One thing that came through really clearly in your Reiki, so it was root, home, feeling like you're not settled, and then also safety, like the relationship just feeling like a not rocky but not meeting.
Yes.
And then the solar plexus was closed, which is sense of self, and so I heard that you don't feel seen for all that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's making you feel disempowered.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not able to show up in your full, like, this is who I am, because the one person you want to acknowledge all that you're doing is not acknowledging all that you're doing.
Yeah.
And so it's like slowly eating away at your sense of self of like, do you not see me? Look at all, I'm having patience, I threw you apart, you know, it's like, look at me, and you're not getting it because he's so lost in the sauce of his own juice that he like can't acknowledge anything of how you're showing up for him, for the family. So that is a little nugget for whenever you have your conversation of going back to your love languages, because you may have very different love languages. And so what happens when you get comfortable with someone is you stop trying as hard to learn about who they are and how they want to be loved, and you start to take it for granted, and just it's an expectation. Those are our agreements. And it's like, no, we didn't. No, that was my love language, and I was doing that because I love you. And when I don't feel seen in the love that I'm sharing, it's disempowering for me as a human being that needs love, words of affirmation, touch. You know, what is number one of my love language? What do I need? And just spell that out. Remind him and have him do the same for you, because he may feel this. Usually we're mirroring the exact same feeling, and it's just trauma wound, and now we're in stress, fight or flight, and we're not seeing in love and compassion. I usually don't go in so heavy with baby, but because you were inviting him to come early, I was like, can I check in with you on that? And so I was like, is there anything you want your mom to know right now? And did you say you love to dance?
I love dancing.
You love dancing.
Love dancing.
Yeah, okay. So what he said, he said she needs to dance. And then he said, we need to have he like showed me the vision of you, your husband, well, whoever, but like the three, baby, you, baby, all of you, like blasting your favorite songs and like dancing into the house. And that's also going to loosen you up. So like doing hip moves if you are, and you know, he's like, I hear you, you know, like I heard the invitation. This is what I'm going to need.
Okay.
I need laughter. I need fun. I need joy. And I need dance, because he's like, she loves to dance, and that's going to help move him in that direction and let him know physically that you're also like in that space with him, but he needs that lightness of being. He doesn't want to come in to heaviness. He's got his divine plan. He's open, but that was at least the first step is I need laughter and I need her to dance. I need her to go into her bliss state and involve the whole family. He's entering this unit. So that was super clear. And then a lot of the work around the story of your birth was coming up in the session. That's why I was like, what story are you telling? Because that hip pain girl, that's fear.
Yeah.
It's like fear being projected into what ifs or what could happen. And it's like, this is what I don't want. You know, this is what happened last time. And it's the right side is the future. And so you're resisting, your body's resisting. The body is so intuitively wise, but also makes no sense all at the same time. It's like, why are you hurting me? So I learned this lesson. Like, I don't understand. Why do you hate me? You know? And it's like, no, because the visceral physical pain is like, stop. It's that stop button. And we kind of just get used to pain instead of really like shifting. So tuning into like, what am I saying? What does my heart want? And then what is my body saying is true? So even that story of like, this other person wants me to have this birth. What is your story? Yeah. Getting clear on that and staying flexible to the magic and being like, I fully surrender to whatever the highest alignment is for this baby's initiation into this realm. Yeah. Don't tell stories that aren't yours, one, and don't tell fear stories. That's getting stuck in your hip. It's so into that like inguinal groove, right? Into the groin. And that's all spleen, stomach, liver. That's like stress, overthinking, into the kidney, into that fear. The whole hip is fear. And so like, just again, sitting with that, like, I even wanted to ask you while you were on the table, what is your fear story? Yeah. But I didn't want to pull you into the mind. So I was like, that's her homework. Write down everything you're literally most terrified of. Okay. Look at it and just be like, okay, what if that does happen? Go follow the trail and into the end and then find peace. So,
wow. You know, that's what that book says to do too. This birth book I'm reading. Okay. It's like, write it all down, follow it, look at it. Accept it, understand that's your fear, and face it. Yeah, and then burn it in that fire. Okay, great. Before or during or whenever it feels right to just be like, I surrender to God. Yeah. Like, I know I'm held. I know I can handle whatever. And then hold the vision that is your truth. I'm empowered. I listen to my body. I have intuitive wisdom. I know exactly how to act, how and when, and how fast and how slow. I know the way. Yeah. My baby knows the way. I surrender to my baby's wisdom. Connected to God right now in the most divine alignment. Yeah. I bow to that wisdom, that truth. I will not try to control. I will not let anyone else try to control. I trust. I trust and I'm listening. You know, all of that.
Well, it was so weird when we first started, when you had your hand on my head and we were doing Reiki. I was like, oh, and I felt like pulled toward the heavens. And I was like, I have to go to the heavens to find this baby. This baby needs to be pulled from the heavens. Like my first baby needed to be pulled from the depths of hell. Yeah. And this one needs to be pulled from the heavens. Not saying anything about their personalities, just like strange. Like I have to go there to get you. Or something. Yeah. It makes no sense, but
it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Totally. Wow.
Yeah. Very strange. So that was cool. Because like when I'm on there, I can feel my body either like lengthening horizontally or vertically or wherever, like in different planes, on different planes. And this one was like straight up to the heavens.
Arianna's healing journey extends far beyond the physical realm, delving into the emotions, family history, and strengthening her closest personal relationships with her husband and mother. Her session with the healer helped her visualize her goals, address her fears, and identify her love languages. Ultimately, this holistic approach aims to help her feel calm, grounded, and confident as she approaches her labor. With the big day imminent, I sat down with Arianna and her mom for some final thoughts. Any thoughts, any kind of closing thoughts from either of you?
I just want this birth to go well. That's it.
She's an amazing manifester. Always has been. So I feel like between the team she has around her now, she's going to manifest that kind of birth she wants.
Let's hope so. I'm
On the front line.
open to whatever happens.
Yeah.
Also, if the plans go awry, they go awry. If there is a crisis, I will endure.
That's your thing.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
thing.
Will Arianna's labor go according to plan this time around? Will all of her efforts into preparing her mind, body, and spirit pay off? Stick around to find out. Only about 5% of babies arrive on their estimated due date. Birth timing is more like a window spanning from 37 to 42 weeks. And the window can be pretty tricky. Early on, you can't tell if the baby will come tonight or in a month. Arianna's journey is marked by anticipation, preparation, and a hint of unpredictability.
I remember the due date was June 8th. We were about a week away, so there was like a little bit of pressure at that point of, well, every day that goes by, the baby's getting bigger, and if the baby's getting bigger, then it might be harder to come out naturally. I think the day before, Arianna was starting to act a little drowsy, and like sort of how she seems, she's like really drunk or on drugs or something. So I kept asking her if she was in labor, and she didn't really know. She was kind of confused, but just kept saying no.
It was a bad Thursday. It was a very bad Thursday, this Thursday. And I was like, there's too many people in this house. It's so hectic. I had a list of things I wanted to do, which was very small, which consisted of like writing in my journal and like stretching my body. And I got to do none of it. And I was very upset. And I was like, you know what, Zach, we're just going to have no people tomorrow. No people tomorrow. Just a day where we have no one coming over, where we just do nothing and we just have our family here and like the house to ourselves, and let's just do nothing. He's like, okay, I'll cancel everybody. Okay, great. So Friday comes and we're having a lovely day. I'm hanging out by the pool. My girlfriend's here staying with us, organizing our house. So we're hanging by the pool. I get to write in my journal. I get to swim. I don't swim normally, but I swam a bunch of laps. I was having a lovely day in the sun. Then, that Thursday before, my son Wilder got super sick. On Terrible Thursday, he had 103.8 fever he was just really, really sick. Just a fever. He was very irritable, wouldn't eat, and had a terrible fever. So I reached out to the doctor, obviously, trying to bring the fever down. I was like, we just need to bring this fever down. So Friday comes, he still has his fever. We're managing it, trying just to be chill, relaxed, hoping that'll help. So now we're back to Blissful Friday. Fantastic Friday. He wakes up from his nap. I asked my doula, who's also staying with us, I asked her for a list of birth crystals that would help me have a good birth, like help me achieve this VBAC. I was like, I really want to go to the crystal store. I feel like that's just like a good move. I'll buy some crystals. Maybe I'll make a necklace, a birth necklace. Maybe, I want to do something cool. So we took a family walk to the crystal store, which is like, it's a pretty far walk. It's like maybe 1.5 miles from our house.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we took sick Wilder on this walk to the crystal store. They had every crystal that I wanted. My list was big. My list was like 10 crystals long.
Wow, that's a good crystal store.
I know. It's
I
really
usually
good.
just get rock candy.
Rock candy. That, you know what? Whatever makes you happy.
That's my bliss.
Yeah, that's your bliss. Follow your bliss. Whatever you think is powerful is powerful.
Those are my crystals.
Yeah. Edible crystals.
Yes.
So we did that. Wilder got a cool drum. He was having fun in the store. We took him home. When we got home, his fever was completely gone.
Oh, the crystals.
He was super happy. He ate a huge dinner. He hadn't eaten in days. He was just like high on life. He was super happy. And I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to sage the house. You take him up for a bath. I'm going to sage the whole house. I really need to sage this house. I want to get all the negative energy out of here. I really just I got super witchy. Okay. Just go went full witch. I was like, let's do this. So I took the sage we just bought from the crystal store. I started saging the house. Wilder got done from his bath. He joined me and Zach joined me. So we were all saging the house together.
I have just because I'm not a warlock.
Yeah.
What does that even mean to sage the house?
Oh, it's a borrowed tradition, and it's just sort of to clear the negative energy out of a home or out of an object or out of your body.
Are you burning it or you just...
Yes, you burn the sage.
You burn the sage.
Yeah, and you waft it and you repeat a mantra in your head, whatever you're trying to clear, and it's supposed to clear the negative energy from a space or an object or yourself. Yeah, it's really lovely. My mom has always done it, so it's just one of those things that I do every space I'm in, and I hadn't done this house, and I was like, I really just need to do it.
Time to sage the house.
Time to sage the house.
Wow. I oregano my house almost every night.
That would smell very good.
Yeah.
Very Italian.
It's on pizza, but my mother always did it.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that was what we did, and it was late, and then we put Wilder to bed, and then Zach left us in the room alone. He has this big crib cage that it's like a twin mattress and a cage on the floor. And wow. We're able to lay down with him in it. So I laid down with him, and he was all excited and happy, and we were just like chatting and cuddling and snuggling, and I was like, good night, Wilder. I love you, Wilder. I love you, baby brother. And then my water broke.
In the crate?
In the child cage.
Okay, so it's 8:25 p.m. on, what day is it? Thursday? June 2nd. And my waters broke how long ago? Less than an hour ago. And we took a family walk to the crystal store and bought birth crystals, and then I saged the whole house, and then I snuggled with my son, and I said, I love you, little brother, and my waters broke. And now we're just chilling, waiting, and I've got some surges, and they're 8 minutes apart, but it feels good. Very happy, very relaxed, very excited. Right, Zach?
Very excited.
Very excited. Game time.
Wow. Did you, right before that point, did you have anything like this is about to happen?
Not while I was in the crib with him, and I felt like a little pop and a trickle, and I was like, that could be my water. And I got excited because my son doesn't usually act like that. So he's not usually so snuggly and so excited. Oh. And I was like, does he know? And it happened to be after I said, I love you, baby brother. And I was like, this is just too weird.
Wow.
This is just so bizarre that this is happening. So I got really excited.
Yeah, at that moment, are the crystals on you, on your body?
I was wearing a rose quartz bracelet when I saged the house. So I had some crystals on me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay, that's cool. So I got up and I was like, okay, I'm really excited. Maybe this is happening. Maybe it's not. Whatever. Let's go check. So I go to the bathroom. I'm like, Zach, I'm sitting on the toilet. He's looking at me. He's like, what's happening? I was like, I think my water broke. And he's like, what do you mean you think? What do you mean you think? What do you mean you think we have to call the doctor? Oh my gosh, we call the doctor now. I was like, I don't know. Let me sit here. Let me see if that's what's happening. And it kept trickling out. So I was like, okay, water broken, happening. Smells
Good.
great. Smells like roses. We're good to go. This is awesome.
It didn't smell like sage. Okay. I don't know. It could have. Okay. So you're sitting on the toilet leaking.
Yeah, leaking. Zach's freaking out. I was like, oh, I'm starting to have a little bit of.
Well, I'm saying one of you is leaking and one is freaking.
Yeah,
I love
leaking,
it.
freaking, and leaking.
What a couple.
What a couple. Really good pair. So we're sitting there leaking. It's great. I start to have some cramping. I was like, okay, I think I'm in labor. This is going to happen. This is great. So my girlfriend comes in. She's like, oh, you're in labor? Okay, great. I'll make a salad. Like, I'll make food. This is awesome. She's going to make us dinner. She's super excited.
It sounds like a Jewish neighbor.
She is.
Oh, something's happening. Let's have food.
That's exactly right. She is my Jewish friend. This is perfect. So everybody's just getting excited. And Zach's like, what do we do? I was like, well, we just chill out. We wait. I think I need to sleep. I think I need to take a rest because I've been awake. I didn't sleep well last night. I really didn't sleep much at all. So I think I just need to rest and relax as much as I can.
Next time on One Way or a Mother.
Called the doctor. He told me to let him know when the contractions were like a few minutes apart. And pretty much instantly they were a few minutes apart. So it was like, I think me and Arianna are both in denial that they were that quick because we were hoping there'd be more time.
Creator, producer, writer, and a host of One Way or a Mother is Dr. Elliot Berlin, D.C. Rose Hart-Landsberg and Natalie Pulvino are the writers and producers. Paul Greenberg is the consulting producer. Glenn Nishida was the sound engineer at Pacifica Studios. Nikola Teravovich was the audio engineer. Story editing and sound mixing by Mallory Edson. Theme music composed by Guillermo Silva. Juliette Lamar was a contributing editor. Special thanks to Arianna, Zach, and their family and the providers for sharing their birth story. One Way or a Mother is an original production by Berlin LLC and the Informed Pregnancy Project. All rights reserved. Thanks for tuning in.